What's up, everybody? It is Lindsay here. I'm just by myself because I'm doing a very fun video. I have gotten a lot of requests and questions from you guys asking for me to do a pregnancy Q&A video. I know that there are so many things that I haven't really told you guys about, so I thought it would be fun to do that today. So I asked you guys to send in a bunch of questions and I have picked a lot of my favorites. So let's do this thing, pregnancy style. Okay, so very first question, how did you and Sam know you were ready for a child with your busy schedule? This is a great question because Sam and I have been married now for almost 5 years. In June, it'll be 5 years. So, oh gosh, like next week is our 5-year anniversary. I should probably get on that. We have been married for a long time. And from the second we got married, there was no question that we wanted to have kids, that we wanted to have a family together, but we were very comfortable with just being us for a while, and we felt like it was really important for us to take the time to just be a couple and to travel, do all the things that we wanted to do. Also, we had a pretty crazy schedule. I mean, I was traveling and not really living in one place ever for about 4 years straight. So it was kind of difficult to decide that we were like ready to settle down and have a baby because nothing has really slowed down for me. I'm still working. I still plan on working after baby, but we just both really felt so strongly in the past like 8 months that family is the most important thing. So we had been talking about it for about a year, and we both were like, yes, we definitely feel ready, but this doesn't feel like the exact right time. And last season during the live show of Dancing with the Stars, season 28, I just had this like super intense feeling that we should start trying to get pregnant. I wasn't sure if it was because I was gonna take me a long time to get pregnant or if it was just the right time to start, but we both felt very strongly about it. We both felt very good about it, and we decided that we would start trying. So yeah, and I think as far as like considering my busy schedule and the things we have going on, like yes, that was a huge factor, but at the same time, we recognize that once we feel good and confident about starting a family, nothing else should matter, because at the end of the day, family is the most important thing. And having kids and creating a family of our own has been huge for us, so we're very excited. So next question, did you want a girl or did you want a boy? So honestly, I would be so beyond happy with a boy or a girl. There was no preference for me. I was excited for either. But Sam and I were convinced that we were having a boy. So on the Cusick side, pretty much every child that is a Cusick, every Cusick boy has at least 3 boys before they get a girl. It's in Sam's family, it's in his brother had 3 boys, and like all of his uncles, they all have at least 3 boys before they get a girl. So in my mind and in Sam's mind, we were like, oh, it's for sure gonna be a boy. Like, odds are it's a boy. We were pretty much banking on that. I hadn't even started to look at baby girl clothes, baby nursery stuff. Everything that I did with nursery stuff was like very gender neutral because I was like, it's probably a boy, but we'll just get some stuff that would work for a boy or a girl. So we both were extremely shocked. Like, that is an understatement. We weren't just shocked, we were thrown off. And I'm sure you can tell in the video by Sam's reaction. I love Sam because one thing about him is he will never fake emotion. So you're always gonna get the real deal with this guy. And he was so thrown off. He was just like, because in his mind, it was kind of like we really just didn't think that it was possible to have a girl first. We just thought for sure it was gonna be a boy. We were both so thrown off. I was like freaking out, so excited, could not believe it. And Sam was in straight up shock. And it took him a couple hours. And then after like a few hours of it settling in, he was like, oh, how are my girls doing? And he keeps referring to me as his girls because I'm carrying his girl. So he's very much on board and we are so excited. But like I said, we truly would have been happy with either. We were just very convinced and like thought it was gonna be a boy. It was funny though, because my dad, obviously since there are 4 Arnold girls, no brothers, my dad was like, yep, I knew it. I had a feeling. He's like, I don't know anything different. I only know that girls come and that's about it. So this one says, how bad was your morning sickness? So my morning sickness was, I wanna say like moderate. I've heard some very hard, difficult stories of people throwing up all day long, constantly miserable. So I can't complain and say that I had a terrible time with morning sickness, but it definitely affected me. Pretty much, also the interesting thing is they call it morning sickness, but mine was just like all day. I would say from like week 6 until week 11 or 12, I was just kind of nauseous pretty much all day. From the second I woke up to the second I went to bed. It was kind of a bummer because it just made you feel like, ugh, you just don't feel great. But at the same time, I was still able to function and do everything I did. And I found that like forcing myself to work out or be active and kind of distract myself helped a lot. So within the first 2 weeks of my morning sickness, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to deal. I didn't know how to just like get through it. And I thought that if I just constantly ate, it would make me feel better. And it kind of did. If I was eating something, I would feel better. But then by the end of the day, I just felt so bloated and so like, ugh, just from eating crap all day. So something that I found helped a lot was eating saltine crackers like right when I woke up in the morning. Because I feel like if I kicked it in the morning, if I curbed it a little bit right when I woke up, then it was easier to cope with throughout the day. So I'd wake up, I'd just have like some saltine crackers before I started getting crazy with my day. And then I would just like keep healthy snacks with me when I was on the go, when I was around the house. So that was helpful because it didn't make me feel crummy eating so much, but I did naturally want to eat more food, and I'm totally fine with that, and it helped me at the time. But the first couple weeks it was hard because I was just snacking on anything and everything I could find. So finding kind of healthier like treats and snacks helped a lot. Okay, what has been my weirdest craving? So in normal times, I guess before I was pregnant, I love all food. Like I don't discriminate against any food in this world. I just love everything. Anything that's good, I want to eat it. So weird cravings for me aren't really crazy because I've kind of always just enjoyed eating everything. But one thing that is different for me is ever since I found out I was pregnant, I am constantly craving cold, fresh things. So fresh cut salads, fresh fruit, just like cold, fresh foods is something that has really helped me with my nausea, with my energy levels, and just like, it's just what I crave. That's weird for me because I don't always eat salads. That's not like been my main food group. It's usually like carbs and stuff, which I still love carbs, but I've really, really enjoyed eating like fresh fruits and veggies, but they have to be cold. That's like the thing, they need to be cold. So I guess that's my weird craving so far. We'll see how it gets as I get further along. Okay, this question asks, how long did it take you to become pregnant? Sam and I started trying to get pregnant back in November of 2019. And it was kind of difficult because I was on the road. So I just finished Dancing with the Stars season, and then I was going on tour, and Sam did not come with me on tour. He works here in Utah full time. So I was on the road, which made it a little bit difficult to get pregnant, but we basically had like scheduled flights for him to come in around the time that I was ovulating. And yeah, it made it very fun. It was like work. We're like, okay, you're coming to visit me this weekend. We got to try to get pregnant. But I think that made it a little bit more difficult. I think if we had been in the same place, it would have been a little bit easier to get pregnant faster. But we started trying in November, and I found out I was pregnant end of February. So I want to say it was like 3.5 months of trying. It wasn't that long, and I'm grateful that we were able to get pregnant because I know a lot of people have a hard time with that. But I will say it's like every month that you're waiting to find out can be a very stressful thing. And if it doesn't happen that time, it can be very discouraging. I remember, even after just like 2 months feeling like, what's wrong with me? Maybe I can't get pregnant, something's wrong. And of course did a lot of research on it because that's what I do. And it's crazy that they actually say average is like 6 to 9 months of trying, and not to worry until after that. And my biggest advice I can give, I can't say that I struggled, but it definitely didn't happen exactly when I thought it would. And my biggest advice is just to stay calm and know that everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And I'm a firm believer in that. And that's something that helps kind of get me through all the way up until this point, even when we hadn't really started trying getting pregnant yet. I just knew that when things are supposed to happen, they do, and that things happen for a reason. So I just put a lot of my trust in God in that sense and just let him take over, and it worked out very well. But yeah, so sorry, that was kind of sidetracked, but took us about 3.5, 4 months. How early did you take a pregnancy test? So because we'd been trying, I had the app, I knew when I was ovulating, I knew it was when I was supposed to start my period. So the first day that I missed my period, I'm taking a pregnancy test. And yeah, I have to say, I didn't really feel pregnant at the time. It's not like I was like, oh, I'm for sure pregnant. I just knew I was late. So I was like, well, take a test, because that's what I did every month. And to be honest, I kind of took the test expecting it to be negative because it had been for a couple months now. And for some reason I was just like, I don't know, it might not happen. I was by myself in a hotel room on tour. We had the day off, and I woke up that morning and I was like, well, maybe I'm pregnant. Let's go get a test. So I went to CVS by myself, got a pregnancy test, took it by myself. Before I even had a second to grasp what I was doing, it says pregnant on it. It was the fastest test result I've ever seen. It was crazy and interesting because my husband, Sam, was on a trip with his dad, and they were out of cell reception for about 3 weeks. So I was not in contact with him. I wasn't going to hear from him for another 5 or 6 days, and he wasn't on tour with me. So I was all alone. I find out I'm pregnant. I literally lost it in my hotel room. I was so excited, so overwhelmed, wanted to call Sam. He doesn't have reception, but then also was like, I don't want to tell Sam over the phone. I have to tell him in person. So what ended up happening is I kept it to myself for 4 days. Sam eventually got back into cell reception. I talked to him on the phone. I knew I was going to see him in a couple days, so I just kept it quiet, lied to him, because obviously he knew I would have taken a test, and he asked, and I said, no, I'm not pregnant. We'll try again next time. He believed me, and I saw him a couple days later. I came home. I had flown on an airplane with 3 pea sticks, just kept them fresh in my backpack. And I got home. I was so anxious and just excited to tell him that I literally just panicked and threw him out and was like, ah, moment. It was very stressful and funny. And it took Sam probably 15 seconds to even grasp what was going on. And then we both just were so happy, so excited. There were tears, and we were so happy. We felt so blessed. Okay, this one says, how did you push through all the first trimester symptoms and still do workouts / eat healthy? So this was actually very difficult for me. I am typically very energetic. I don't like to take naps. I don't like to sit still. I'm very active, on the go. So having this dramatic change in my energy level was really difficult and strange for me. And at first I really didn't know what to do with it, because I was in my mind, I wanted to get up. I wanted to be active. And it wasn't like I was just feeling lazy. It was genuinely that my body was so drained that I could not do half the things that I normally did. This was for about 2 weeks where I felt this way. And so I had to learn how to cope with that. But at the same time, I also had to learn how to be okay with that. I think it is so important for people to remember that when you are pregnant, your body is going to change and you're going to feel different. You're going to start looking different, and that's okay. It's perfectly normal. And what I tried to do is change the attitude of why am I feeling this way, to oh my gosh, my body's creating a human. Yeah, I'm tired because I'm literally making a child inside of my stomach, which is so crazy when you actually think about it. But that's something that I really try to change my attitude on right off the bat, because I knew there would be a lot of changes for me and a lot of sacrifices I would have to make. And I love that. I really do. I love every single change that my body has made. I love feeling pregnant. I love feeling the symptoms, because it just means that I have a healthy babe growing inside of me, and that makes me so happy. So the biggest advice I can give to you on that is listen to your body. I mean, seriously listen, because the most important thing is that you create a healthy, safe environment for your baby to grow. And sometimes that means not working out like you used to, and maybe changing up your diet a little bit and giving yourself more nutrients than you normally would. Everybody's very different, and it's important that you listen to your body and listen to what you need, because at this time it's not about us, it's about our baby and about giving them the best that we possibly can. So that's the best advice I can give with that. Okay, I got so many questions about this, but this one in particular, do you have any names in mind already? So a lot of people are asking what we're gonna name her, if we have any names picked out, and we definitely have some names that we like, but I will say that Sam and I both are on the same page that we have to see our baby girl before we name her. So we definitely won't be choosing the name and like guaranteeing the name before we see our baby, just because we both feel like we're gonna wanna see her, see if it works, and just kind of feel it out. So yeah, I will say though, it's interesting because I had a ton of boy names picked out because I thought it was gonna be a boy. And I actually like a lot of the boy names for a girl as well. So I think it's gonna be fun and interesting to see what we end up doing. But yeah, we won't be doing a name reveal before, just because it's very likely and possible that it will change once we see our baby girl. And we just feel like we need to see her first before we decide. So yeah, there's that. But I will maybe as we get closer start to share a list of names that we like, because I do think it's important to have an idea. Like I wanna be at the hospital and have like a list of 3 or 4 names that we love, and then once we see baby girl, choose. So yeah. Okay, this one says, are you planning on coming back to Dancing with the Stars after your pregnancy? And I've actually been getting a lot of questions if I'll be on this next season, which no, I will not be on this next season. When they start their season, I will be 6.5, 7 months pregnant, and I would be popping out my baby around the time that I would be doing a freestyle with my partner. So it's not gonna work out this time around, but I am very much with the mindset of having every intention to come back. I love Dancing with the Stars. It has done so much for me personally, professionally, and I just love the people, I love the family, and I am so excited to get back to them as soon as I can. Yeah, so I guess it's just, I am so excited to work towards coming back to the show. I'll have baby girl in November, and the next season would most likely be the next fall. So I do believe that'll work out, and I'm very excited to get back to it because I love dancing, and dance has always been the way that I have stayed in shape and stayed healthy. And I know that after having a baby, dance is gonna be what I use to get back into shape and to just sort of start exercising again, because it's my favorite form of exercise. So I very much look forward to it. I'm also gonna keep dancing even when I got my big old belly, so be ready for that. This one says, how are you coping with being pregnant during a pandemic? It is very interesting, and I know there are a lot of pregnant women and new moms out there that are dealing with this new form of life that we have. And to be honest, I don't want to say that it's been a blessing, because I know it hasn't been, and it's been extremely difficult for our country, for so many people, and very devastating. But for me, being quarantined at home for the first like 12 to 14 weeks of my pregnancy was a very special time for me and Sam specifically. Sam was home working from home. We had a lot of quality time together. I wasn't feeling my best, so naturally I wanted to be home. I wanted to lay around and just kind of chill and take it easy. And it was a good time for us in the sense that we could really connect and bond and just soak in the moment and soak in the fact that we are creating a child together and starting our family. So that's been a blessing in that sense. It is scary and it's interesting just because it's something that we haven't dealt with, and I'm just doing everything I can to stay positive and just push through, because I know that everything will work out the way that it's supposed to. Okay, this one says, what type of parent do you think you are going to be? So me and Sam have actually started to talk about this quite a bit because we think it's very interesting, and also it's important for us to be like on the same page. I am already so scared because, I mean, if you guys have seen, I'm sure you've seen a lot of interactions that I've had with my youngest sister, Riley, and how I'm already kind of like a mom to her, and I'm very on her about being a good girl. So I'm kind of nervous about that. I feel like I'm gonna try the hardest I can, but I am gonna be a paranoid mom for sure. I'm gonna be all up in my daughter's business. I'm gonna wanna know everything she's doing. But at the same time, as I'm saying this, I'm like, no, you're not gonna be like that. You're gonna be cool, you're gonna be chill, you're gonna be like, everything's fine. I know I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna want to be very involved in my daughter's life, and I'm gonna be very concerned for her, and I'm gonna want the best for her at all times. And I think, yeah, I think that's it. I know I'm gonna worry, and I know especially with my first, I'm gonna be kind of a worrisome mom, but I'm trying to, the best I can, just remember that every baby is different, every kid is different, and to just love them and support them, and that's all I can do. So that's kind of it. But I do know I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a little bit of a crazy mom, it's fine. All my sisters say that I am. I mean, just with Riley, if she mentions a boy, no, that's not gonna happen. Boys are like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to worry about boyfriends. And then, I mean, I guess worrying about a girlfriend is just as hard. Yeah, I'm gonna be a tough mom, so watch out. If you're coming from a daughter, back up. Oh gosh, it'd be I'm gonna be so crazy. Okay, anyways, when did your bump finally come in? Okay, so I'm filming this video at 18 weeks and 1 day. I would say my bump started to pop literally like at the start of 17 weeks. So up until then, like there were days where I looked a little more pregnant than others, but I think it was mostly just bloating. But at like 17 weeks, it was like I had like a visible, and you could feel it, like a hard bump in my stomach. Started just like at the bottom, I'm trying to show, but it started just like really low. And it was something that like you couldn't, because normally I'd be bloated, but I could suck it in. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's just bloating from all the food I've eaten today. But at 17 weeks, she started to pop, and it's been so fun because every single day, I'm not kidding you, my body looks a little bit different. And me and Sam have been keeping tabs on it. I just got off a vacation with my family in Lake Powell, and every day we would notice that my belly button looks crazy different. So I've always had an innie, but it's now just like stretching to where it almost doesn't even look like a belly button. It just looks like a little button, you know? It's really interesting, but it's been so fun, and I've truly loved popping. I've been excited and looking forward to having like a little bit of a belly, because I feel like it just shows that there's actually something in there. Because for a while I knew I was pregnant, but I was just like, I don't believe it. Like, there's no way there's a baby in there. And right now, baby is the size of a sweet potato. Like, if you get a good sized sweet potato, that's like that big. Oh, so cute. How many kids are you and Sam wanting? So we both have 4 kids in our family. He has 3 siblings, I have 3 siblings. So I feel like max for us is gonna be 4 kids. 3 is sort of sounding pretty good to me now, but we'll just have to see. Honestly, the huge thing was I thought I was gonna have a lot of boys, and I really wanted to have a girl. So I was like, I'll just keep trying until I have a girl. Now that I have a girl, I'm just gonna wanna keep trying until I have a boy. So it's gonna depend if we get a boy next, if we're still waiting on a boy, but yeah, I would say like 3 to 4. That's gonna be our sweet spot. Okay, this one says, are you worried about stretch marks? How will you prevent them? So this is interesting. My opinion on this has changed so much. Before getting pregnant, when I was younger, I used to honestly be pretty concerned about stretch marks. I just thought that that would be like the worst thing in the whole world. And mostly because I feel like in the world, people just never talked about them. And if you saw them, it was like, oh, you know, like that's how people acted about it. And even people with them were ashamed of them and kind of like embarrassed about them. And it made me naturally think that they were just a terrible thing. I would say within the past couple years, it has been so beautiful and awesome to see women everywhere be confident in their body changes, whether it's from pregnancy or just from growing older. I think it's such a beautiful thing. And especially in pregnancy, it's like, it just shows that you created a life inside of your body. So I'm not scared of stretch marks. I think that they will be a beautiful thing if they come, and naturally I'm gonna have to face my own demons of just feeling insecure about them, but I hope that I can be as awesome as all the women I've seen out there who just embrace it and love it, because it's a natural thing and it's okay. It's still beautiful. In fact, I think it's even more beautiful. And one thing that I love is Sam has been so sweet to me about it, because he knows that that's something that I would think about and be concerned about, and he just has been so kind and reminded me constantly that it doesn't matter, that every change that I've had with my body so far he loves, and it just means that I'm growing our child inside of me, and that makes me feel very good. So women, make sure you get yourself a man who loves you no matter what you look like. I am though, in order to help, I'm definitely moisturizing my skin. I use Shea Moisture, their pure coconut oil every morning and night, and I'm just doing that. Who knows if it'll work, if it won't, but I think it's good to moisturize either way, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, this one says, was it weird to dance on tour when you were pregnant? So I found out I was pregnant, and we still had about 4 weeks left of the tour, but as some of you may know, our tour got canceled due to COVID. So after finding out I was pregnant, we did 4 more shows, and then we all got sent home. So during those 4 shows, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of interesting because I didn't feel different, I felt fine, but I was very aware. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a baby in my stomach and I'm dancing. I wanted to be careful, but it was just such an interesting thing, and it was kind of fun because I'm like, oh my gosh, baby is doing Dancing with the Stars tour right now. I'll have to tell her about that later. But yeah, it's pretty crazy actually that we got sent home, because I would have been on tour for another almost 4 weeks, and about a week and a half after I found out I was pregnant and took the test, I started getting some pretty crazy nausea, and my energy level was super low, so that would have been kind of tough, and I think it would have changed things for me. Naturally, I would have just gone on with everything and done it, but it's interesting how that timing kind of worked out, because it was literally like 4 days after I found out we all got sent home, and yeah, everything kind of changed. Okay, this one says, have you felt the baby kick yet? I have not. I haven't felt anything, and I'm like really looking forward to that, but I know that she's just very tiny in there still. A lot of people say that you'll feel like, maybe it'll feel like a gas bubble or like a little butterfly, but I mean, I already have a lot of gas naturally. P.S. worst pregnancy symptom for me, just nonstop gas. Too much information, but it's a thing. And so yeah, I don't really know. I can't tell the difference. I'm like, I don't know if that's a fart or if it's the baby. I'm just gonna wait for the baby to get a little bigger. I can't wait when you can like see their foot kick in and their hand. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna freak out. Let's do a couple more. So this one says, can you do a nursery reveal when you have one? Absolutely, I'm so excited. We are using 4 Chairs Furniture, who furnished our entire house, to do our baby nursery. We've already started to design it, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I'll have to do another video sharing kind of like the inspiration and kind of how that whole process goes down, because I'm very, very excited about it. So this one says, is it hard to sleep right now? It's gotten easier. I will say about a week into finding out I was pregnant, sleep was so hard for me. I was uncomfortable, which was weird, but naturally, so right off the bat for me, I could tell that my body was changing. My hips started to open up. Things were kind of stretching, felt different. It was a little bit uncomfortable moving around, and my bed started to hurt. So I kind of just adapted this position. I lay on my side. I have a large pillow in between my legs, and it's been so great, and it's been really good for me. I sleep really great now. I think as my belly starts to get a little bit bigger, I'll probably have to find a new position, but right now that's what's working for me. So yeah, I absolutely love being pregnant right now. It makes me feel so just excited, and every day I'm just anxious to get another day done, because that means I'm getting closer to meeting baby girl. So I'm very excited. It's been moving pretty quickly, but then at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, we still have to wait that long to meet her. So I'm hoping that the last little bit flies by, but I've heard that it doesn't. So I'm ready for that. Honestly, I'm just gonna embrace every minute of it, because I love this whole journey, and I am just so excited for baby girl. I'm so excited to start our family. And I'm just super grateful to all of you for being so supportive, so loving. I'm gonna bring you along this journey, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I've enjoyed it so much. It's been probably my favorite thing ever to talk about and share about, is being pregnant, because I just am so genuinely excited about it. So hopefully you guys don't mind, and you'll wanna keep staying in tune, but that's all for now. I'll probably do another Q&A down the road, because every single day I'm learning something new, and it's so exciting and so fun. And I think that if I could give any advice or tips on pregnancy, is just to take it day by day, and to be open to the changes that are gonna happen to you, because they will, and it's great, and it just shows that you are progressing and you are growing a baby. You're bringing a life into the world, which is the coolest thing in the world. So yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.